Welcome to the Activate Digital Media Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Banks, and today we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Khan from Internal Healing and Wellness, MD.
Hi, John. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Dr. Khan, thank you for joining us today. As you know, here at Activate Digital Media, we focus on helping businesses like yours grow by using the power of digital marketing. Over the past 2 years, we've had the pleasure of partnering with Dr. Khan to implement a comprehensive digital marketing strategy that has taken Internal Healing and Wellness, MD from a promising startup to a flourishing business. Today, we're here to discuss this journey and strategies that contributed to this transformation. So let's get started. Dr. Khan, what was your mindset when we met? What were you thinking before you got into the digital marketing journey that you're on today?
I think it was an interesting time where I just happened, I think it was about, 2, 3 years ago. So at that time, I was just finishing up with certification in functional medicine. At the time, I was studying with the Institute of Functional Medicine, which is one of the most popular places to become certified. And I just finished a very difficult, multi-year process to become certified, patted myself on the back, achieved certification. And then here I am entering the real world saying, now what? How do I now find the patients that I'm trying to help? And I remember I got as far as registering a name of a company. So I did that on my own. I think I got as far as registering a domain name, something called GoDaddy. And then I quickly realized I didn't know what else to do at that point. And I think what happened was we had met also through work. And I had asked you what you had done, and you said you do websites. And at that point, all I knew was I need someone to help me with the website. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I'm focusing on more medical. And I was happy that you were able to say, yeah, we design websites. And I really didn't understand at the time what I didn't know about all of what digital marketing is. I just knew enough that I needed it. And I was lucky to find you to make your acquaintance so that you were able to make the website get off the ground and is doing quite well. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, we were happy to hear you. And that's actually a really common story. When people come to us, they have no idea where to start. And once they get started, they eventually find out that something that they need is search engine optimization services. Patients are looking for you, somebody's looking for a service. How do you place your business on the top of Google so people can find you? And that's the part where Dr. Khan met us and said, well, hey, this is where my knowledge, stops. I need somebody who's an expert in the field to take me to the next level. And so that's where we specialize. We specialize in startup businesses and taking them to the next level. And we did that through a number of means of services. So when we first met Dr. Khan, he said, let's get started with a website. So we built the website. We did basic search engine optimization services. But you needed to get basically started like a rocket ship, because at the time you're like, let's go, we need patients. And this is during the pandemic times, and you were running your business 100% remote. So we made the strategy of, let's start with Google Ads to get immediate business to your nicely designed website, and then we'll build the organic strategy as we go, which will give you a much bigger ROI. And I think you found a lot of success with Google Ads in the beginning.
So yeah, I wanted to kind of emphasize one point, that as I was in the market for a digital marketer, all I heard was watch out, watch out, watch out. All of these guys take a lot of money and give you no results. Now you pair that in conjunction with, I didn't even know what a SEO was or Google Ads was. I didn't know any of this stuff. Maybe I just knew that there is something called SEO, but I don't know what it meant beyond, I didn't know what the letters stood for. Moving forward, I opened the business with very minimal cash flow. I didn't have much to invest in it. It was post-COVID environment. The whole world was upside down. And because that kind of was an advantage for allowing me to take your advice to say, why don't we just start small and incrementally work up? Because it fit for that timeline back at that time. And what was interesting for me to see is that as I stepwise put in tools and followed kind of advice in your lead on, okay, I recommend the ads, I recommend this functionality on the website, although, in retrospect, it was basic at the time, but totally appropriate. It allowed me to take small incremental steps to get bigger and bigger, so I didn't feel the hit. And to be fair, it also gave me the opportunity to learn a little bit about what's going on as far as what am I getting involved with. It is an investment, it's necessary, but I also had to, get on the education curve for myself, or learning curve, to figure out what this digital marketing, this environment, this universe meant. So I think that allowed me to kind of be an educated client, in that you can't learn this overnight. It's a new skill set, certainly, but it's not one of those things that I would say I knew enough back then not to get frustrated by it. I just knew I needed to slowly learn it. And I really appreciated that you were able to kind of do a little bit, take me through the steps and take me from someone who's completely ignorant, knowing I need digital marketing, then to slowly introduce me to the right tools at the appropriate times to gradually increase my traffic in a way that I was able to financially afford.
You know, part of our job is to demystify internet marketing, digital marketing, because it is a complex topic, and there are many people out there that I would consider, like you said, there's a bad reputation in the industry for digital marketing. So it's hard to find that person or that company or that group of people that's going to take you in a transparent way, stepwise, through each solution. And that's what we pride ourselves on. So everything we do, we report clearly. Everything is data-driven approach. So what we do is try to make things make sense out of the numbers and give you basically summaries, recommendations, keep you up to date on trends in digital marketing, and take you through the necessary solutions that you need appropriate for your business at the time that you're in, wherever that part is in your business where you're trying to scale. Now, Dr. Khan, let's take a look at the numbers. Nothing paints a better picture than the results. When you started in 2021 with us, you had zero traffic, no organic traffic to speak of. And you can see here on the chart, we did a big spike of Google Ads, which I was mentioning previously. Now, we did that because you needed immediate business, which I don't actually recommend running 90% of your budget in ads and 10% in organic. You want to flip that, maybe 10, 15% in something like Google Ads, Facebook ads, whatever pay-per-click marketing you want to run. But when you start off as a new business, you don't have any traffic, you don't have any rankings of keywords. And where you start with Google, it takes 3 to 6 months to start to get optimized. And really the whole campaign for organic is a minimum 1-year project. And as you can see here, over the time period of like December 2021 to 1 year period after that, we had significant growth. And this is growth of number of keywords found. So that's really important, because if you're being found for 1,600 keywords, and let's say even 10, 20, 30% of them are on the first page of Google, you're getting significant traffic if those keywords are valuable keywords in your local area. We can kind of take a look. This is current data. Just in the last 7 days, you're being found for things, in general around America that have very high volume of keywords. And speaking of functional medicine, one of the top keywords for functional medicine marketing in general is holistic doctor. So while you may want to market yourself for functional medicine or alternative medicine, or maybe some of your sub-practice areas, holistic doctor clearly is the winner for volume. And you can see here in your local market, and actually in 2 other markets, you've got variations of that keyword across the board, bringing you tons of traffic. And these are just the keywords that we're targeting. Obviously, you're being found for the 1,600, and this is doing really, really well for you. And you're being found on the first page of Google in 5 different markets that we're marketing for you, in the top 10 percentile for over 75% of your keywords. That is an organic success. So you're being found in every local market that you want to be found for. And now we're diving into the nitty-gritty of SEO and getting you found for all the subspecialty areas. Dr. Khan, what was it like whenever we started first getting rankings for you and you were getting traffic? And tell me what was going on at that time and how you felt about the progress and the level of service that we were giving you.
So yes, I remember back about, back at the beginning of this curve. So it's actually nice that you could see everything on data. You threw a lot of information at me. I was trying to learn a lot on my first SEO report, kind of go through each one. I remember you took some time and you broke down each area, each term. I had to learn, SEO, search engine optimization. What's a keyword? Why do I care about a keyword? How is it relevant to me doing functional medicine? So a part of that explanation is, I would say that a big aha moment for me was realizing that my relationship as a functional medicine doctor to patients on the internet is not me directly to them. That's what I had assumed was the normal order of relationship, that I'd write something, people will Google something, and they just find my stuff because I wrote it. I didn't realize that there's a key critical component of all of this was I have to appease the monkey in the middle, which happens to be Google. Google has to tell or choose my website up or rank it to allow for my patient, their search to match, so that my page ranking and their search queries have to match. And that magic happens through this keyword and what all these keywords mean and more technical detail. So I had to really understand and learn why that's relevant, why I need to care about this, and how ultimately this is going to convert into patients walking into my clinic and allowing me to practice the functional medicine I work so hard on to train.
That's exactly right. And most people don't know what keyword marketing means, and it's very um, hazy topic, so to speak, when it comes to Google and trying to understand it. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of signals that we can throw to Google through content marketing, all types of different things with local optimization of your Google business page, and all of that correlates directly to patients coming into your website and converting to actual business. And so that's our job, is to guide you through the process, find the right keywords, develop the correct content in the correct way that Google wants you to do it. And Google's always evolving. So as you know, you've been hit by many Google updates over the last couple of years, and we do best practices constantly. And I've even seen you go, what's happening? We're getting a big loss in calls over the last 7 days. And what do I always say?
Google update.
Google update, keep calm. Keep with the best practices. Make good content. Create constant content. Keep with the Google ads. Pump up the Google ads during a big Google update. But as long as you're doing those best practices and following our recommendations and guidelines, there's no reason to panic through a Google update if you're doing the right things. And Google is being a lot more specific these days. So it takes a digital marketing company to guide you through these situations. Mm-hmm. Now, tell us a little bit about the evolution of your website and developing content, because you did touch on that a little bit, because content was a big, used to be an option. Now you got to purchase it. That's the name of the game. So tell me about your website evolution and content.
So I started off with, I just had the urge, I want to work and I want to provide functional medicine care. But realistically, I didn't have any time to sit down and write all of this. I had the ideas and the big picture, but I don't know how to program the websites. I don't know how to, exactly phrase the blogs perfectly to match what I'm trying to say so that Google doesn't penalize me. And I didn't realize that there was a reason why all these players exist, like the content writers and the digital marketers and this whole ecosystem that exists now. But what it allowed me to do was focus on the patient, gave me editorial power of what I needed to say, wanted to say, and I was assisted in that how to generate content, both written, like blogs, video, and even the look of the website. Obviously it was my color schemes and my kind of creative direction, but the technical parts of how to get it onto the webpage and so the world can see it, that's where I was, way over my head, and I was really appreciative of everything that you offered.
Yes, and when you started with us, we started at one level of design, and that worked for you at the time. And as you built revenue and continued through time and built your patient list, we were able to go to that next level, which is required these days, to build a website that's compliant with Google at the highest standards, which has set you apart from your competition. One of the things that we take advantage of, and we won't go too deep in, is machine learning and artificial intelligence. So we have programs and software and solutions and data analysis technicians that look at everything that's going from the content to ads, and we analyze this and give our data-driven recommendations. And you can see here, this is a kind of a strange looking graph, but once you start to understand it, you can see that a lot of people came to the website, 21,000 people recently. A lot of them left, but 255 of them converted to actual phone calls and contact submissions and or chats, which turned into business for you, which has been very consistent. And while all these numbers, speak to the volumes of like what we've done for our work, nothing proves anything like results, and those results can be tracked. And so we use a system called CallRail, which is primarily used by digital marketing companies to track phone calls and website submissions, and allows us to understand if these are good leads or bad leads. So tell us about your experience with CallRail and our analytic reporting and what confidence level that's given you, including transparency.
So I remember the first time you had mentioned, it was actually way back in the beginning, that I needed a means by which to track where people are coming from and kind of give me that feedback as far as what ads are going out and what's coming in. So I didn't realize that needed to be linked, and there are systems and software that do key tasks for me to help me spend more money more efficiently, add money. So I remember in the beginning you said, okay, get the software. I did. Was I a little apprehensive about all these little modules? Yes, I didn't know what any of them did. But in retrospect, foundationally important software that allowed me to know if I say if a certain ad campaign was going off to nowhere. So the last thing I wanted to do was throw advertising money into the winds of the internet and it goes nowhere. Nothing comes back. So that's a complete waste for me. And this allows me to have the quality control kind of feedback mechanism to see what's happening, what's being done, quality control internally to listen to calls, make sure everything's at a pristine quality to my standard for all my wonderful staff that I have. And definitely a necessary tool in the digital marketing world. I mean, I think a big picture for me as a take-home message a few years ago was I had to really approach digital marketing not just as a marketing agency, but also strongly like a data analytics. Like there's a lot of data produced on the internet, like we all know, but how do you make sense of it all? And I think that's where all these little tools, not little, important tools are necessary to help you kind of see the forest for the trees.
And our job is to interpret that data and make it easy for you to understand. So your job is not to go through the million screens that I've just showed you here, plus more that we do. Our job is to give you clear, concise reporting and results. And we do that on a weekly and monthly basis. And, as you can see from here, it's very clear. Google Ads is bringing you business for your top keywords and you're getting good leads from it. If we take a look at the analytic reporting, if we take a look at the analytic reporting, we form this into an understandable report instead of coming direct from Google Ads. It comes from our custom reporting software, which allows you to understand the broad strokes and understand where your patients are coming from, how many are converting, and how much money you're spending, which is important. Which in this case, in the last month, we see over 7,000 visitors to your website. And like I said before, we didn't want that inverse happening with Google Ads being the majority of your sources. And now 2 years later, it isn't. So organic traffic, the most of it's coming through organic traffic, and then paid in direct, which is exactly what we want. Social media as well. So that's in a snapshot. That is the overview of how we take a business from concept to design to development to search engine optimization, and then finally to monthly services for increasing the business traffic and converting leads and tracking and what we call conversion rate optimization, which means getting your cost per acquisition lower each month and increasing your business.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you, John, for allowing me to kind of do the back end technical things that makes my dream come true, which is to practice functional medicine for the patients around me. And there was definitely a knowledge gap. The world has advanced; everything's online. I spent years of my life focusing on medical. I didn't keep up with a computer science degree or whatever all this is. And I can't pretend to say that I understand everything you're presenting. But what helped me is that initial graph to say, there's clearly a trend up on traffic. Could there be ebbs and flows? Sure. But like everything else in life, there are. But the direction is positive. And certainly keeping me busy, allowing me to kind of fulfill my dream of practicing functional medicine is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. And what I appreciate is you were able to take me on, educate me, go at a rate that I was comfortable at, what I could afford, what I understood, and then suggest strategies and tools to kind of hold my hand digitally to figure out what the next best steps are for growing comfortably and safely.
Well, that's what Activate Digital Media is all about, driving tangible business transformative results. So we're very happy to have you as a client. It's been a pleasure working with you and look forward to continued success. At Activate Digital Media, we have multiple levels of marketing packages that we offer, all the way from startup to monthly scalable services. So please join us, contact us, and we'll get with you for a free consultation.